Welcome to the best debate. I'm your host, Maddox. Today's topic, Tim Pool. Tim Pool is an American right-wing journalist and Beanie enthusiast. He got his start live streaming the Occupy Wall Street protests. Also, he filmed Antifa's harmless shenanigans. This was considered a big deal and got his foot in the front door. Then he worked at Vice Media and Fusion TV. Now he has his own news program, a podcast on YouTube, The Timcast. It's the largest right-wing show on YouTube. Also, he is the lead singer of his own band. A pretty impressive career. Oh wait, Tim Pool is a fucking right-wing retard. Oops, I was just redundant. My bad. To be fair, he isn't a genuine right-winger. Motherfucker got lucky and Tim hasn't stopped drifting since. Dude was liberal, a Bernie bro, basically a woman. Now he's the biggest right-wing show on YouTube because all the ones with talent got banned. Tim is rich because he says the N-word off camera and has never said a school shooting was fake. Most entertaining conservatives can't manage that. Fun fact, Tim left school at the age of 14. I'm sure that's because he was too smart for the system, or maybe shameless idiots just fall into piles of money. Tim's show, The Timcast, is what he's known for anyway. He and his mentally handicapped friends recite the news and explain why what happened today means the end of the world is coming. For the 110th time. I'm so sure listening to The Timcast will save my family from the boogeyman. COVID, China, Russia, trans people, Biden, whatever the fuck has grabbed his beanie this week. Did I mention Tim sells buckets of food? Like food for doomsday preppers? Buckets of chow in case? What? Resident Evil happens. Gee, it sounds like Tim has an incentive to be sensational. To gasp? Lie. Nah, I'm sure he's honest.
I'm a groomer.
Remember that band of his I mentioned? It's called Timcast Music. Great name, Tim. Why not Timmy and the Other Cocksuckers? Or Timmy and the Groomers? He's the lead singer, of course. I'd play some of his music, but I don't want your ears to accuse me of rape. Despite his music being the audio equivalent of a war crime, he thinks Muse, an actual band with talent, ripped him off. Imagine being dumb and vain enough to think a real rock star ripped you off. His fans are now acting like Muse are nobodies and Tim is being robbed. Does Timmy's bucket food have lead in it or something? Whatever. Side note, Tim's brother, who isn't a household name, claimed Tim stole the show from him. Also, Tim's sister says the money changed Tim. So either Tim comes from a family of liars or he stabbed his own brother in the back. Take your pick. You know Cain and Abel? I never pictured Cain as a bald, talentless wimp. What a shitty reboot. Tim's platform is to live in the middle of nowhere so you don't have to fight to make society more civilized or whatever the fuck it is right-wing dipshits want. No trans story time in your $5 million doomsday bunker. He literally called Jack Murphy a coward for getting his kids the mandatory COVID vaccine because a real man would move his family out to a farm to escape the liberal hell known as America. Great plan, Tim. You're so in touch with the everyman. Seriously, I hope every right-winger takes his advice. Move the fuck away from me. Don't you dare try and grab power. Make your own little tinfoil hat villages in bumfuck nowhere, where you can have trad wives, write terrible lyrics, and wear beanies all day long. Tim, if men should aspire to live on a farm with their family, which you can afford 10 of, why aren't you married yet? You're almost 40. On the Timcast, great name by the way, Tim usually has a guest he interviews, although it's not really an interview. The guest says like 5 words and then Timmy can't be quiet any longer. He's special. It's how he fucked up his Kanye interview. Imagine Kanye speaking his mind to this child. It would have been hilarious. We as a society were robbed. Although to be fair, Tim chooses to be silent sometimes, like when his friend Jack Murphy was exposed. Jack Murphy charged idiots $800 a month to teach them how to be a manly man. Conservative chumps treated Jack like a wise guru, lapping up every word like good little Nazi dogs. Then people found Jack's gay cuckold porn that he made with his own wife. Not that there's anything inherently wrong with all that. Tim just didn't comment on it. Probably because Jack Murphy could snap him in half. Or because Tim has no idea how to run an entertaining show. Or Tim just doesn't want to draw attention to his friends. I mean his leech's odd behavior. Oh, that reminds me, Eliza Blue. Yes, I'm talking about her again. She gets around. Tim refuses to cover Eliza Blue being a fucking liar. He literally had her on when Andrew Tate got arrested, had her as the face of women. If I was a woman, I'd have rocking cans and dick-sucking lips. But I'd also be offended at Tim having Eliza as a champion for women. You know, because she's a con artist. Why would Tim do this? Probably because he's fucking her while Eliza waits for Elon Musk to return her calls. Although, I wouldn't be surprised if Tim just shielded her for free. He strikes me as a witless white knight. Never getting the pussy up front. Not a real ladies' man like myself. Now for the most unforgivable thing. Tim is ashamed of his baldness. He says he wears the beanie because it's part of his character. Lack of character is more like it. He says he keeps the beanie on just for marketing. Yeah, Tim, being bald would stop your audience from growing. That's it. It's not like Joe Rogan, the most listened to man in the world, is bald. It's not like the super genius Maddox is bald. It's not like you got to where you are by making it up as you went. By playing it safe while the more interesting right-wing personas were excommunicated by polite society and tyrannical tech overlords. Look, I'm glad the Nazis are gone, but Tim Pool gets their money now. He is a bald idiot with delusions of grandeur. Can someone make a deep fake of Tim Pool saying the N-word so we can be done with him? I can shit in a bucket and sell it to idiots without running my mouth about topics I know nothing about. Then again, I know everything.
I'm a groomer.